sports fans, and thank you for listening to State of My Sports, where we talk about State of Michigan sports and State of Michigan beer. If you aren't following us on social media yet, please do so by searching State of MI Sports. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast along with our YouTube channel so you do not miss an episode. For even more content, check out our website, stateofmisports.com. Before we get into the episode, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. The Hops Brewing Company and Cafe is the official brewery of State of My Sports. Siciliano's Market helps us pick out the best Michigan beers for each and every episode. Also, Caleb from Mac Web Design helped us get our website created. So check out all of our sponsors and let them know that we sent you. What is up? Episode 90. We're going to talk a little bit about Michigan. Of course we're going to talk Michigan. Can't have an episode without talking Michigan. We're going to talk about
what is up?
the Detroit Lions. Then we're going to talk about the Detroit Pistons. Then we're going to have some fun filling our banana boats of our favorite pies. We're going to make our bettinghero.com picks of the week. And, of course, we're going to grade our Siciliano's Market Michigan beers. I'm Sam Waltart. With me today, we have Kyle Fossey and Ryan Waltart. And Mike is actually on the line right now. Mike, can you give the audience a little bit of a shout-out here? No? Hello?
Did you turn him up?
There he is.
Yeah, he's on there.
Oh, here we go.
Hey. Might be a little quiet, but it'll work. It'll work. How's the bridge, buddy?
The bridge is the bridge, and it's cold up here.
Is it working?
Cold.
Is the bridge working? That's what I'm worried about.
The bridge is not working.
Oh, no.
We're working on
His,
So I'm thinking, that sounds to me a little bit like he's in northern Michigan.
All right, Mike, we tried, man.
We tried.
We tried. It's not working so well. We're going to call you back for the picks, all right? See you, buddy.
good.
That was painful.
That was not good. Did not work the way I hoped. That's on me, not Micah.
Why did it
We'll
work?
cut that from the
It works
podcast.
great early on, but no big deal. We'll move on. Mike is working on the bridge still on vacation.
What city again?
He's in Houghton, Hancock. So it's like a
Houghton, Hancock.
bridge that connects Houghton to Hancock.
Oh, really?
Which is
It's
like-
way up by like Copper Harbor.
Yeah,
area.
it's like north
Chile.
of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even north of where we're at. It's like way on the other.
I think it's like an 8-hour drive, eight and a half.
I think that's what they said.
hour
Yeah, it
drive.
might even be 10, honestly.
Yeah,
it's far up there.
a
I
hike,
cannot
for sure.
imagine how cold it is. Sorry we didn't make that work, Micah. Hopefully you jumped on the Facebook Live, and you can throw in some comments if you want. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna have some fun here. We'll see what happens. But Kyle and I had an episode last week. We talked a little bit about the hires that Harbaugh were making, his new contract, all that good stuff. I wanted to get Micah's thoughts and Ryan's thoughts really on the whole thing. Basically, to break it down, Harbaugh he got a 4-year extension that puts it through 2025. And really the biggest difference here is his money dropped down. I think he was getting paid like $7.5–8 million a year. He dropped it down to $4 million, and then it kind of goes up about $1 million every year. But it's really incentive driven. He gets another $500,000 if you win the Big Ten East outright, $1 million if they win the conference title, another $500,000 if they reach the college football playoffs, and then another $1 million if they win the national title. Ryan, I guess I want to know your thoughts on Harbaugh staying, and then kind of the way that this contract is built.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a dangerous game that Michigan was playing with Harbaugh and the coaching situation, because you can look at it multiple ways. Michigan, they have recruited pretty well under Jim Harbaugh, so it's not like they're without any talent at all. The danger in changing coaches would be, who are you replacing them with? Are the recruits going to stick around, and what kind of talent gap are you going to be creating over a 3-year period? And then we saw that with Rich Rod. We lost so many of those big-time recruits, and then all of the new guys that came in fit only his mold, and it didn't work out, and the program was nothing for so long.
Yeah,
and how do you recover from that? So that's, I guess, you can argue with me all you want about, they won 2 games. They looked terrible this year. I get how bad they really looked. But if you go back 1 year and you look forward 1 year, I really don't think they're going to be that much different. This is the year of COVID, and I think it got them more than it got other teams.
Yeah.
So I think, number one, Harbaugh coming back, I think it adds more stability to the program compared to where they would be if they moved on from him. So I'm okay with it. Do I think he earned it? No, I don't think he's earned it, but the moves he's been making, we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess you wanted to know more about the salary situation. I love the way this is broken down because, I mean, he was making $8 million a year. He's down to $4 million a year.
Yep.
If he wins a national title, they're basically saying, hey, guess what? We paid you all this to put our program on the map, and you haven't done it. You haven't lived up to your end of the bargain. So now the best case scenario is Michigan's national champions, and he's still not even quite making the $8 million a year.
Yeah. I like that it's incentive driven because it makes him earn the money. But at the same time, I don't like the way it all happened. I think that it was more damaging to the program than is healthy for the program.
In what way? Just curious.
It made everybody, I think, picture life without Jim Harbaugh. And it made Jim Harbaugh picture life without Michigan, kind of moving on from each other. It feels like it's a divorce in the making, and it's just the matter. Like they had a good month or two of counseling and are going to try to pull it off for another couple years. It feels like a Band-Aid. It doesn't feel like a good relationship right now. And it might just be the 2-win season and the COVID and just the way this whole year was. That might be part of it, but it feels like it's inevitable for this relationship to end.
If things go poorly, then yes, you're right. This is structured, and you see it with the decreasing by $1 million following every year. If Michigan parts ways with him, if Harbaugh chooses to leave, then he costs him $2 million immediately, and then $500,000 every year after that.
Yeah.
So they put those terms in for that reason. You're absolutely right. This is a contract that's really made to be broken if the production isn't there.
It's like a prenup.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
you're prepared to make it not work.
Well, and I think it's the best of both worlds because if you're gonna, it's the terrible spot they were in, but they had to do something like this. And if he has J.J. McCarthy or he has this next crop of young talent coming in, and he still can't improve his defense with new coordinators. He still can't improve his offense with more time with them. Getting younger overall, bringing Mike Hart in. If they still can't find the magic, sorry, they need to part ways. So this kind of a contract is fine with me because it allows them to get there quicker.
Yeah, and I like that he's coming back and we know something and we're not starting this. It's going to be another weird year and everything with somebody else. Like, if you brought somebody in, it was going to be bottom of the heap, just kind of a bridge guy. And I would rather Harbaugh be that bridge guy if anybody's going to be. You know what I mean? If it is going to take another coach to get this program where they want to be, I would rather Harbaugh get us a little bit closer and maybe part ways a little bit cleaner than how messy it would have been this year. But you did also bring up Mike Hart. We'll start with I'll just name kind of the hires here. They got Mike McDonald. He was officially hired as a defensive coordinator with the Baltimore Ravens, getting bounced from the playoffs. He was the linebackers coach. He coached some really good linebackers in a really good defense, I think, for the most part. I mean, it's so hard to tell when a guy's going to be a position coach to a coordinator of how it's going to translate. But I think the young side of it and kind of changing that outlook of the defense and the program as a whole. You're bringing in younger guys. You're bringing in more enthusiastic guys that I think fit what kind of players you're trying to bring in as well. Do you like that hire overall?
I really do. From all accounts that I've heard, I think this is not John Harbaugh sending some scrap guy his way. This was a growing name in the industry within NFL circles, within college circles, and he was really starting to become one of the next young stars that people are going to be looking for.
Yeah, and it almost feels like a stepping stone for him.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, where he could get a head coaching job in college someday or be a coordinator in the NFL.
And really
he wasn't going to get it where he was, so let's make him work his way up to getting that.
And I really do think that, starting from last year's defense, they were so historically bad in Michigan's defense last year compared to previous years. I don't think it's going to be as difficult of a job to get them back somewhere, even though they, believe me, I'm aware of all the gaps that they actually have.
Yeah.
But if you can coach these guys, get them fired up, like the youthful energy that you're talking about, that's so key in college. These guys have to connect with the young athletes, and it just clearly wasn't working anymore with Don Brown. So I think this guy coming in, he's going to be eager to get to work. This is a huge opportunity for him. He's gonna be the first guy in, last guy out type of attitude. And I think the players will respond to that. I think he's in a really good spot, and if he succeeds, you're right. I think this will launch him into something, a bigger opportunity down the road.
Yeah, I think the biggest question will be what kind of recruiter he can be. He's going to have to do something really well with this team year one that gets recruits attention, I think, because Don Brown brought in really good players in his recruiting trail. That will be missed. And it's a big question mark, another question mark, I guess, about this guy.
Yeah, but
what kind of recruiter he'll be.
Don Brown was not really a recruiter. They had always their director of recruiters, or I don't even know the branches that they have within the college level, but they had people bringing in defensive players that fits Don Brown's scheme. He wasn't really responsible for recruiting. Yeah. So I think you can sell, that's not really what Don Brown was known for either. So if he has any say in the recruiting, I think that's more of a plus than Don Brown would have even given him.
No, I think that's fair. Another hire, defensive coordinator. He was the Maurice Linguist. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He was the Cowboys DB's coach. He's going to come in.
It says Cowbots.
I know. I got a little confused there.
I was thinking, is that like the Oklahoma State way of saying it or something?
I don't know.
I thought it was like a robot team of cowboys or something.
Just cows.
Cool.
Right, yeah.
Just cow robots. It's the worst kind of robot.
Right. It's useless.
They just graze.
Right. They don't even make milk. No.
But anyways, I don't know anything about this guy. I'm not going to pretend to. But what I like is he's going to be a co-defensive coordinator. I think them working together and doing the full job together, like two guys that haven't been there, but are trying to find themselves in the league, I guess, is never a bad thing.
And you look at the cornerback. So he was in charge of the cornerback coach as the Cowboys on the Cowboys team, right? And then Mike McDonald was in charge of the linebacker crew, and has experience in the defensive line as well. So you're kind of getting the full picture there with both of those guys.
Yep, no, that makes sense. And I think the biggest one that I think Michigan fans are excited about is Mike Hart. I don't know how he is as a coach necessarily, but it's always nice to see a familiar face come back, especially a guy that's been working his way up to being a really good coach. I'm not saying he was the big name in the Indiana's coaching staff or anything like that, but when you can bring a guy like that was working his way up multiple years, I think he moved teams the last few years, just working his way up to finally get into a Power 5. He's taken over the running back position on Michigan from a Harbaugh, which is interesting. I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts other than it's nice to have somebody like that back in the program?
No, I think it's great. We had such a we all thought this was going to be one of the deepest running back rooms that we've had in a long time at U of M, and it just didn't turn out that way. None of them stood out. And I think having Mike Hart, not only a Michigan guy, but also that, again, the energy that people talk about, he's a winner, and he cares so much. And all the coaches that he's worked with just praise him for how hard he works and he holds people accountable. He's like so passionate about the game, and he expects nothing less from the players. So I think that's just a great attitude to bring to this team. And look, if you looked at the team this year during their games, they were lifeless on the benches. Like, they did not have any kind of energy. The coaches looked like that. Jim Harbaugh looked like that. The reserves, they didn't get pumped about big hits. They didn't the energy was not there all year. So if anything, we just brought these three people in. If they can change, be the first people to change the culture, and then the leaders within the team can take it over from there, that's going to be big for the program to do something, something positive.
For sure. It is time to introduce our Michigan beers for episode 90, but before we do, we want to remind everyone of our partner, Siciliano's Market. They are simply the best beer store in West Michigan, located on Lake Michigan Drive, right between Grand Valley State University's main campus and downtown Grand Rapids. Wherever you live in West Michigan, it is worth the short drive for what they have to offer. Whether you know what you want or need some help from their expert staff, Siciliano's Market is the best place for that. They not only have a massive and up-to-date inventory of the best craft beers from across our great nation, they're individually priced so you can mix and match to build your own six-pack. Obviously, they have the craft beer. They have specialty wine, spirits, ciders, coffee, tea, tobacco, and cigars. They also have the largest selection of homebrew and winemaking supplies in West Michigan as well. We love that Siciliano's Market is part of the State of My Sports family, and it is who we visit to help us choose our Michigan beers for each and every episode. So please check them out and let them know that we sent you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with mine. We're talking about Sicilianos. In this beer that I'm drinking tonight from Trail Point is actually a tribute to them, I guess. So it's the Mob Father. It's a double IPA, 8.3% alcohol by volume. And they have a story behind the beer. It says the Mob Father pays homage to our home brewing roots with You thought I was going to say homage, didn't you?
You basically just did say
Homage. Isn't it homage?
No, you said it fine. I just like saying the
You
word.
just like making me feel bad.
No.
The Muskegon and Ottawa Brewers, the Mob. So, I get it. Yeah. And Sicilianos.
You take the first letter of each word.
Yeah, I get that.
And
So
it's just
Muskegon and Ottawa Brewers, the Mob, and the Sicilianos, advocates of the craft beer industry and home brewing for decades. It is their juicy New England IPA. It is brewed with Citra, Idaho, 7, and Hydra. It's huge orange and peach flavors with a balance of hop presence. So, I mean, I had you guys try this one. Look at the color in this beer. It is, I think, one of the best. Like I don't know. I'm excited
beer.
about this one. And the first couple sips are absolutely insane. So, big fan. Ryan, you want to go next?
Yeah, I can. I need to grab my beer first. Let's see. Man, I should have read this. This is Conflict of Interest from Griffin Claw Brewing Company. Where's Griffin Claw? Do you guys know?
I do not. I think it's in Lansing, maybe.
Let's see. Birmingham, Michigan.
Not even close.
Still don't know. Yeah.
About an hour away.
Birmingham.
hour and a half.
Wait, Birmingham is it like on the east side?
Yeah.
Like closer? Oh, okay, yeah. Hour and a half, 2 hours.
I would
yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So this is a 6.0 percent. This is a New England-ish style IPA. That's their description.
Gotcha.
It sounds like a description I would actually make, but this is generally dry hopped with Nelson hops. So cool looking label on the can too.
Ka.
Okay. Kiwizilla. This is a collab beer
I love those.
between Broadleaf and Black Calder. Now, Broadleaf, it looks like... Oh, these are both on the west side, near Grand Rapids. This is a sour ale brewed with kiwi and vanilla, 5.0. And I just noticed something about this can that I don't know if I've ever noticed before. I believe this can has Braille on it.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did, actually. And I remember Micah had one that had Braille on it.
Oh, he
but that
did?
was-
Okay. Yeah.
That wasn't either of those breweries, so I'm curious if that's just like a new thing.
No,
going on.
that'd be a great thing. Yeah, sure.
Nice. So what we're all gonna do? We're all gonna drink Dragon's Milk White from New Holland Brewing. It is their bourbon barreled aged white stout. Everybody knows the Dragon's Milk, but Dragon's Milk White has actually won some awards as well. So this is actually a pretty solid beer.
Okay.
I'm excited that we dig into this one tonight. So we will have some fun. We are going to have some fun talking about the Lions.
Did you want me to do that right there?
I did, and I just figured you could figure it out. I thought the pause was a little longer, but you got there.
Let's go back real quick. We got off to a bit of a shock, shaky start.
Shocky.
Shaky, shaky, both maybe.
Still shaky.
When
that
you
language.
said hit that button in 10 seconds, and in that time, I lost interest and got distracted.
You literally told me to point at you to hit the music, and I'm like pointing at you.
And I'm not
you're
even paying
not
attention.
even paying attention. I'm like, come on, buddy.
Okay,
Let's
come on,
go. Wake up.
focus.
I couldn't talk because our mics were hot, but the good old
Oh, man.
doing it live,
We're
baby.
doing it live.
But anyways, we're gonna talk some Detroit Lions. I think this will be the last time until we start doing mock drafts every week, right?
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
Can we get there? Because I've got
You
a
wanna do
lot
a
of
mock
mock
draft?
drafts. Yeah,
All right.
I love it. People can mock it all they want. This is like all I want to do on this.
It is a lot of fun, and we have a new thing. So I'm actually gonna jump over on this on
We need to do
OBS.
We need to
that we're
do
gonna try
mock
to do
drafts.
here.
We need to do mock drafts for every single sport because that's what we look forward to.
It is. So for the people that are watching on the Facebook or on our YouTube, you can see that you can share our screen now. So what we're gonna start trying to do see how I
This
did
is
that?
huge for us. I'm
Yeah.
pumped about this.
So you can do this and all that. I'm excited to do it. We're playing around with it, but I don't know. We'll see. It's just gonna be a way that we can show, clips and highlights and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
we're learning.
We'll get there.
It's fancy.
It's
And by we, Sam is learning.
Good job, Sam.
Yeah, good job.
I'm
Way
trying
to
to learn. This is definitely not my good. I'm not good at this kind of stuff. So
Well, you're getting there.
it's stretching. It's
Yeah,
stretching.
definitely getting there. This is
but
good.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. I appreciate it.
Again, I'll go
Let's
back to the
keep
one
talking
episode.
how good
Calm
I'm
I'll
doing.
go back to the one
Calm down.
episode where you were not here when we tried, and it was like 3 hours of me just like moving a cord and being like, "This has got to work."
Well,
Has
yeah,
to.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. But anyways, the Detroit Lions, they hired officially Brad Holmes. They had his press conference today. He is the new general manager. I think we talked about it actually a couple weeks ago when it was starting to make its way through. But he's starting to make hires himself, which is I think really the key here. Not officially, so these are all just reports. I should probably make that pretty clear. But it sounds like Dan Campbell, I'm not sure.
Campbell, yeah.
He
Campbell.
will be the head coach. And who he is, he's Sean Payton's right-hand man, but he's only the quote-unquote tight ends coach. What I want to focus on is we're not hiring just a tight ends coach. I think that could get lost in translation, not transition.
Easy for you to say.
For the normal fans that are like, wait, we're hiring a tight ends coach. Why aren't we hiring a coordinator? Blah blah blah. He is Sean Payton's right hand man, and I love what Sean Payton brings to a coaching staff. So Ryan, I mean, I'm curious what your kind of thoughts are on this hire, and Kyle, if you have what do you guys like it? Like, it's so hard to tell. I get it. I'm not telling you to write it in stone what he's going to do or anything like that, but he without the flash that like a Bieniemy would bring or Saleh would bring, all of that stuff. I mean, how do we feel about this hire?
My initial thoughts were, I have no clue. I got to look this guy up. So I did start looking into him, and really just even listening to press conferences that he's done in the past, from the Dolphins to the Saints to, like, the most obvious thing that I can say about him is that he has an extreme passion for people. And that is the most obvious thing that comes through. Like he talks about how you cannot coach people and force them into your scheme. You have to, each person is coached individually. And if somebody responds to, toughness and like hard work, then you make them work hard. You challenge them. If somebody responds to, encouragement, then you encourage them in their challenge.
Yeah.
So he does have expectations. He talks about the expectations that he lays out for his teams, that you better come to work, you better come with passion, you better do all these things. But he also is targeted individually in how he gets his players to that point. And I just think in my own personal experience with sports, that's one of the hardest things is to find a coach that responds individually to each athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get one that can do that, it's special.
Yeah.
And I never really, I can say with certain that I never really coached or had a coach that could do that. I had coaches that I responded to really well, and some I did not respond to very well.
Yeah.
I was always going to work hard, but there were people around me that would shut down. And to me, that is the biggest thing that happened with the Lions, especially on defense this year. They shut down. They did not come with the passion when they needed to. They were hurt all year as well. But only specific people within those Lions defense this last year and offense really came to play.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the pros, the Romeo Aquaras, Stafford, you go down the list with the obvious picks. But the whole team was not inspired. And that was the easiest thing to spot with the last coaching staff. The other thing I'll mention is Brad Holmes being the GM. He has the same traits, the same character traits. So he's a people person.
Yeah.
He evaluates people. He says the thing that is an absolute deal breaker when he's drafting players is passion. If you do not have the passion for the sport to work hard, you will not be on his team.
And I love that.
Yeah, and I think if you have the combination of Holmes and Campbell that has the same sort of attitude and the same focus on character and players and their attitudes and come together as a team, then that is the start of some sort of culture that you can bring to the table.
Yep.
And then you have teams that overperform rather than underperform year after year.
Yeah, and I going back to the old regime of Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, it seemed like they worked their way there with their minds, not their people skills, not their leadership skills. It was their scheming and just I don't know. They didn't seem to have those qualities, and I feel like it's a
yeah.
good 180 to have somebody like that. Will it translate? I'm not going to tell anybody it's going to, because it is still the Lions. But at the same time, it's like it's way different than what we were dealing with. We don't have a rocket scientist anymore. We don't have.
So thankful.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so. I mean, Kyle, I don't know if you probably don't know a whole lot about these guys. Neither do I.
I don't. And for that
but, like,
reason,
what
to
are you-
me,
I guess like for your keys, like for what would you want as a head coach for the Lions? I guess, and what
I don't
Ryan
know.
explained
I
is
think
that
I was completely set up, no matter what, that I was going to be underwhelmed,
yeah,
because this is all very underwhelming to me.
Yeah.
In I haven't done the research probably like Ryan did. Like once, like it kind of thought, okay, who's this name? Who is this guy? And then go look. And I haven't really done that. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know who. If you said to me, well, who did you want him to get? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I wanted some huge name.
yeah, right. I
You
mean,
know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
you want him
One
to,
of the next superstar.
yeah, or maybe even like just somebody like I've heard of would have been, and I'm probably a more casual fan than you guys are of the
yeah,
Lions.
no, I'm right there with you. It would have been nice.
Yeah.
But
But
but then we can put that behind us, right? Like, I guess what were you going to
Oh,
say?
for
there?
sure. No,
Yeah.
I think you got a lot of new blood here, and even what Ryan just said is very interesting to me. And I think you're going to talk about this a little bit down, but
We can go
the
to it.
organizational stuff, like
Yeah.
how they're mixing that up, I really like that.
Yeah, I'm excited about just the vision of these guys, and
It's a big change in vision.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and what it seems like is, and Ryan, kind of going back to the guy that can approach each player differently. I feel like that's so important, and it's kind of like being a dad, right? Like you have to treat your kids differently as much as you can't. Like today, for example, and I'm playing catch with the kids, like just with a ball, and Easton. So my middle son, Easton, he's 4. He's starting to learn his body a little bit more. He's starting to show a little bit more of athleticism, and he's starting to catch the ball in the air and like all of those things. And I'm like trying to be over enthusiastic about it, like, hey, nice job, buddy, I'm so proud of you, like all that stuff. And I'm playing, like taking turns with all 3 of the kids. And my daughter Peyton, who's 6 or 7, 6,
6, yeah, I think so.
all of a sudden starts sitting in the corner and getting all sad, and it's like, what is going on? So I'm just keep playing, and she's still doing. But then like she comes up to me and she's like, "You're not being as excited as you are." So it was like one of those
Yeah, it
moments where, like,
happens.
I
It
thought I could
does.
treat Easton different than Peyton, but I probably should have been treating them the same.
Yeah,
but
and
it's
that
like,
was Darius Slay in the corner.
yeah,
Yeah,
You're not treating me
crying,
special.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
am special. Treat me special.
exactly. It was just like
That's a really
that
good
was
analogy.
it was eye opening for me today, and then like when you said it, I was like, I got to bring that up because it was like exactly what I went through today. It wasn't like it was as I didn't mean anything by it. It was just I was trying to pump Easton's tires, and at the same time I was deflating Peyton's tires, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it
it's
is,
kind of
yeah.
not the way I want. But anyway, that's exactly like if you can get a good leader of men in a football locker room, like that is who I want. I want a coach that the team will rally around, not
Yeah,
the guy
sure.
that's like saying rally around me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
Yeah, do this.
authentically
Right.
rally around the coach, and you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
not obey me and look at the results, but more like, hey, we could do this together.
Yep.
We're in this together. And if the players believe that the coach has their back, that they're in it for them, and they invest the coach's time in the players and they care about them, that goes a long ways.
Yep, I agree. So another hire or reported hire is the defensive coordinator, and I think that'll be one of the bigger hires here. Obviously, the OC is still up for debate, but I want to talk about the defensive coordinator that it sounds like the Lions will hire within the next couple days. Aaron Glenn, he was the oh man, I thought I wrote this down. What was he with the Saints? I think he was like was he a DB
Defensive
coach?
backs coach.
Defensive backs coach for the Saints. So you got 2 guys that you're plucking from that system. It wasn't the best defensive system, I would say,
Pretty good one though.
but it was solid at times. And what I think he brings is what he was as a player. He played for a long time with the Jets. He played for Houston Texans, Dallas, Jacksonville, and the Saints when he retired in 2008. But then as a coach, I mean, in 2014, 2015, he was with the Cleveland Browns. But then, I mean, 2016 to now, he's been the defensive backs coach for the Saints. So he's been around the league. But I love the experience that he brings as a player. I think that is what's really important here. He might learn how to coach. He might not.
Another young guy.
But another young guy, kind of going back to the Michigan thing, it's like somebody that the players might relate to a little bit more. I think it's a big wait and see. What kind of coordinator can he be? But you have an offensive-minded coach that's bringing in someone that he can trust, right?
Yeah.
That's really the key. Somebody that he knows, someone that he can trust. It's not a splash like I think we all would want, but that ship sailed a long time ago. When you bring in a coach that's not going to splash, he's not going to bring in coordinators that are going to splash.
True.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Ryan, do you have any thoughts on this hire? Is it just too fresh to? I mean, this was announced earlier.
Yeah, no,
late last night.
I like the familiarity. I like that
Yeah.
he's coming out of the Saints organization. If he went to the Saints, keep going back to that well.
If the Patriot system doesn't work, let's try
Let's
another.
go to the Saints, yeah. No, and I like how young he is, like what you already said. I think players can respond to that. So, and with the recency that he's been in, it's just a good spot. What I like most is just that Campbell knows what he's getting into, and he will know how to respond to his coaches, and he trusts them, just like what you said.
Yep. A couple other things. Mike Disner, so he's been a part of the organization for a bit. He's going to be vice president of football administration. He's going to get a bigger role. I mean, that's what he was, but he's going to get a bigger name. It sounds like he's going to be kind of just vice president of football in general. He's what I believe. So going back to Holmes,
This is a big deal.
as the the general manager. Sorry, Holmes is the general manager.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? Sorry, I got to get
Brad
these
Holmes.
names down.
Never heard any of these guys.
He was more of
Don't care.
a scout. So he had that scouting background, and he's making a pretty big jump from a college scout to
Director,
being a
yeah.
general manager. He doesn't know the ins and outs of general. He doesn't know the business side. Look, he might, but he's going to need some help. Is where I should probably
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
I'm not going to say he doesn't know, but
You know what? I don't
Right.
even think it's about I don't think it's about him needing the help either. I think it's more of what do they do well? What are their strengths? Let's let them do their strengths and be their primary focus. So if Brad Holmes is a really good talent evaluator and builder of a team,
yeah,
then he can work with whoever he needs to work out the salary cap and say, you know what, it's worth it to me because this guy, we need him on the team.
yeah.
And then they'll work out the details of whatever contract.
Yeah, and that's what I think Mike Disner is going to be. He's going to be the negotiator. He's going to be the salary cap advisor, if you will. He's going to be in control of all of that stuff while you got Campbell and Holmes kind of building the team the way that they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they'll name the players, they'll tell you who you want, and then it's Disner's job to make it work. I think it's very important to have somebody like that. For me, I'm not sure I could do the ins and outs of the numbers, all of that kind of stuff. Like I think I could lead the way a head coach could, but not necessarily like the background, the financial side. I mean, that's just my opinion. I
But
might
some
be able
people
to
love
do
it, you know?
Yeah,
Some people
exactly.
don't want to be up front either. you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think the focus of the organization to do this, I like it. I'm not going to tell you this guy's the best financial guy in football, anything like that. Nobody really cares about that. But I like that you're putting people in place to help where people might be flawed and allow the people to focus on what they are good at
Play
and
the strengths.
really excel at it. So I like that move. Just they were going to do it either way, so I guess it's just kind of I like the focus on it, basically.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at, and I guess just as a whole, where the Lions are, I'm just in a big wait and see. Ryan, I don't know where are you at with this? I feel like that's the only place you can be, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we were on one of our listeners was making a comment on texting earlier, and they're just saying hey, you're going back, that's big risk, big reward. It's like, I don't know, what's the risk? Like the
There's no
Lions are
risk. Yeah.
one of the worst franchises in football. They have been for a really long time.
Yeah,
If this doesn't work out, okay, then same old Lions, I guess. But if
Yeah.
it does work out, at least you're going with somebody that could have a higher upside than like a Lewis as a head coach.
Louis Riddick, Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis as
Yes.
head coach.
Yep.
I don't want an average or decent head coach. I want somebody who could excel, who could
Yeah.
exceed expectations, who could be the next superstar.
Someone that's learning on the job, not somebody that's learned everything he needs to know.
Yeah,
and
and
then we
can't
already know
adapt.
his ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's interesting. I like the focus of what they're doing here. And honestly, they came out a couple weeks ago and they were talking about how they want experience. Like that was something that was very key in this hiring process. And then they went the opposite way and they refocused on it wasn't about the experience. I feel like as soon as they said experience, my mind went to, all right, you just cut half, probably 3/4 of the potential candidates out because only a quarter of the people have experience. And by experience, that means, yeah, they did a good job and then they got fired because it wasn't good enough. Now, I'm not saying, like Marvin Lewis, for example, he failed at some point. Like, he was good, but he failed. These guys haven't failed yet. Let these guys fail. Let them do it their way and let them be successful or let them fail on their own. And I feel like that's the next step for the football organization, like Martha Ford and, oh my gosh, what's the VP's name?
Mike Disner.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, he is. I promise.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
It is Mike
Yeah,
Disner.
vice president.
Oh, sorry. I meant the president of football. Oh, my God. Rod Wood. So push them out. Now that you put these people in place to run your football team, back up, hands off. Let them succeed on their own. Let them fail on their own. And, yeah,
Like
your
Patricia.
hands will be bloody if they fail, and that's your hire and your fault. But at the same time, you got to trust people to do their job. Now, back off. Let them handle it the way they want. Let them handle Stafford the way they want. Let them handle the team the way that they want. Just back the F off is basically where I'm at with the owner and Rod Wood.
So last thing that I have on this is I don't know, the reports that I heard something about the reason that the biggest reason that one of these guys was hired was because they had like a master plan, like a big plan. Do you know if that was referring to the coach or Brad Holmes as
That
GM?
was more Holmes, I believe.
All right, so that makes me feel pretty good. So he went into this interview. They were looking for experience, like what you're saying. He went in with a pitch with how he was going to do something,
Yeah.
like a master plan to get him back, and that's I think the words that they even use, like a master plan or a big retooling or whatever their phrases they wanted to
They
use.
said retool. Yep, that was the key word that people are focused on.
And you know, to me that sounds pretty awesome. That means that he came in and it wasn't also just about getting a job, a certain title, but he saw something in this organization. He had to use names to get there.
Yeah.
And so that makes me a little excited as well that he was able to convince ownership that his plan was superior to other plans.
Yeah, and it's not only ownership, but it was Spielman. And I think if we can trust Spielman to, and that's a big question mark too. Does Spielman, is he like his brother, like very football mind, or was he just a really good player? That's what we needed to learn. But I think this screams.
I trust him. Yeah.
Yeah, this screams like honestly, I feel like they had a focus and they were like, we have to get a guy with experience to make this a good hire. And I feel like Spielman kind of probably jumped in and be like, no, this was the guy. This is the guy. Brad Holmes will bring you to what you want. Whatever it gets to, it doesn't matter. But like, if we want to refocus what the organization is, this is the guy to do it. We're not going to be the same old Lions anymore. We're going to be the new Lions. Will the new Lions fail? Will the new Lions succeed? That is the question. But it's not the same old Lions anymore because they refocused on the way that they're going to run this organization, I feel like. But well, last week
was that for?
He just seemed like he was done ranting.
Oh, okay,
so I thought
Oh, I get it. I understand.
Last week we were gonna talk Pistons because Ryan requested it, and then he was a no call, no show. So no, I'm just kidding. He did.
I'm
let
still
me
here.
know.
I didn't even get
He
fired.
did let me know. Yeah.
Why
That's
didn't I get
amazing.
fired? That's weird.
you got to do 3 in a row.
Oh, okay, I can do that. Yeah,
No, it's gonna take a lot more than that.
it's gonna take a lot more.
But anyways, let's talk about the Pistons. Let's catch up on what they've done. Kind of what we did with Michigan 2 weeks ago. Michigan State last few weeks. I don't remember what weeks it was. But anyways, the Pistons are sitting at 3-10 currently. They're not doing well. But there have been some bright spots, and
They're doing perfectly.
All right, yeah, right. That's exactly what we want. So I'm just gonna, Ryan, honestly take over if you want to. I'm gonna just kind of start with the team leaders, and then take it what you want. Jeremy Grant, he's leading the team with 24.9 points per game.
Are you impressed with that?
Yeah, let's go
Very.
start with
Yeah.
that. All right, what do we think about this guy?
All right, so here's one of the biggest contracts that people knocked the Pistons for in the offseason was signing Jeremy Grant at around $20 million a year. I think it was like $18 to $20 million per year for 3 years.
3 years, right? Yeah.
They were saying this is a 6-man type of guy. He's a 3-and-D guy. Why would you pay that kind of money for a 3-and-D guy that is not a proven scorer?
What is a
cannot do
3-and-D guy?
3-and-D is a guy that just sits in the corner, and then when somebody slashes into the lane, they kick it out to the corner. He shoots the three. He can hit threes. He'll end up with 12 to 15 points a game because of that.
Okay.
The opportunities of just shooting threes.
Yeah.
And then he plays solid defense on the other side. 3-and-D. It's basically like the new generation of forward that people are looking for.
All right.
He didn't like himself being boxed into that kind of a role. And so he took a chance on Detroit, and this is something that I respect out of him already. He took a chance on Detroit going to a bad team and saying, no, I want to prove myself, my worth in this league, and show that I'm more than just a 3-and-D guy, and I can actually score. So what's been the most impressive thing, yes, he's scoring 24.9 points per game. He's also shooting 48% from the field. This is based off of memory. 48% from the field, 40% from 3-point, and 85 to 86% from the free throw line.
No kidding.
So he's efficient. His true efficiency scoring is like close to 60%, which if you're not familiar with those stats, it doesn't mean anything. But just saying this guy is a legitimate scorer in this league.
He doesn't have to shoot 100 times a game to get to this number.
Exactly.
Either.
Yeah, it's not like a Trae Young at this point where he's 39% from the field
or
and
even
he's
some of the
scoring
people
30.
You hear so much about, like Harden was
Yeah.
doing that last year.
Yeah,
like I don't know how
exactly.
he's doing this year, but like same thing. He doesn't have to do that. Yeah.
I think the best thing about a guy like Jeremy Grant that we've seen is that he has stepped into the lead role, but he still plays within the offense. He does not. The ball does not stick in his hands. The worst part of this team is Blake Griffin right now. So when Blake Griffin gets the ball stops. He does a fake pass or whatever. He like backs in starting from beyond the 3-point arc. It drives me crazy. And then it's like a silo. He makes one pass and he expects everybody to play around him.
He wants to be the old Blake Griffin, and
he can't.
he
can't do it.
Yeah, true.
And Jeremy Grant is the guy who has endless amount of energy right now. He plays defense. If they're down 30 points, he's still playing defense, blocking shots. He's still slashing in the lane, taking fouls, getting fouled, hitting 3-point shots on the outside. He is scoring from everywhere on the court. And I think personally, this is a guy that the Pistons need to lock on and say he fits our identity. He fits the mold that we're trying to move forward with.
Hardworking. Passionate.
6'9" forward, long that can guard LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and all these freak athletes. He is built in the same type of mold as those other guys.
Yeah, sure.
If you need to guard Kevin Durant in the playoffs, he's your best bet. He's one of the best guys for the job, and he proved that last year with the Nuggets when he was guarding literally all the guys I just mentioned, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, LeBron James, and he was doing a great job on all of them. So I think he specifically has been the breakout of this team, but it doesn't end there. I'm going to go through a few of the names.
Please do.
I wanted to read through. I think Josh Jackson has been a really big bright spot. He's fallen off a little bit as of late. This is a former 4th overall pick from the Phoenix Suns. Played at Kansas. Was one of the top athletes, prospects coming out of high school, college. He was in the G League last year. And he comes to Detroit. He wanted a new shot. He's actually from Detroit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's back in his hometown. It's a feel-good story. He is long. He's athletic. He can play the 2. He can play the 3. I think he fits the mold. I think he's found a home in Detroit, and I think we need to hold on to these guys at this point with the young guys core that we have coming up. Build around the more established people that are still here and still young. He's like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, build around that. And then Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey as a rookie. Isaiah Stewart as a rookie. These guys are tough. They have NBA bodies already. They play great defense. Sadiq Bey is a great shooter. Isaiah Stewart was face to face with Giannis earlier and didn't back down to him. And Giannis is talking trash, trying to push him around, and he didn't flinch at all. He just put his face. Yeah, and he is tough. Like
was he a draft pick this year?
Yeah. So Isaiah Stewart was the 16th overall draft pick.
He was the one that people thought we reached for.
Exactly. They said that we went and got him too early for that 16th overall pick.
Okay.
And one of the things that I'm forgetting his name, GM for Troy Weaver for the Pistons, one of the things that he said is we had this guy circled on the draft board because of his physicality, his toughness, and his attitude that he would bring to the table. And it's obvious if you've watched him, he should be starting center right now because he might foul out because he's physical, but he's strong. Like he goes and rebounds the ball. He's one of the best offensive rebounders per 36 minutes per game in the NBA. I think he's number 1 actually. I'm very, very high on him. I think he's gonna be really, really good. And one side note on Isaiah Stewart, he was actually the number 2 rated prospect coming out of high school.
Wow.
So, and then he goes to Washington, and all he did there was produce.
So he was the one that said, I've been beating these guys my whole life.
Exactly.
And they all just got picked before me.
Yes.
All right, I like that.
Yes.
And you said he's doing really good with rebounds. So he's only averaging 16.5 minutes per game, but
Yeah.
that's 5.4 rebounds per game. That's pretty good in that amount of minutes. So
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I would be lying if I said that I've sat and watched these games, but I mean that tells you a lot, and it tells you he's doing something wrong that why he's not the starting center. But he'll learn, right? I mean that's exciting.
And again, the worst part of this team is Blake Griffin. When he's on defense, guys go right past him.
Do they really?
Yeah, he just he cannot move anymore. His knees, his ankles, his hips, whatever it is, he cannot move like he used to. He doesn't try very hard. And then you see all these young guys around him that are diving on the floor for loose balls. This is the reason why the Pistons haven't been blown out in a game yet this year.
Yeah.
But they're not going to win very, very many games.
Yep. Okay.
And so I think it's in a good scenario because, again, we're going to get a good draft pick. Eventually, when we get to the draft, all they need to do is be in the bottom 5, and they're going to get a great prospect.
All right.
This is a really, really deep draft. So if we can get a stud, pair him with a guy like Jeremy Grant, Josh Jackson, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey. If Killian Hayes comes back, I think he'll be more mature than he was this year. Pistons are building a core that I personally am very excited about, and it's a different core than we've seen with the Reggie Jacksons of old, with the Blake Griffins, with the Andre Drummonds, where these guys are competitors. They go out
like
there
that.
and they do not
Yeah.
like to lose. You can tell.
They're not taking for granted being in the NBA.
And if they're down 30, and if they're down 30 points, what we've seen is they come back and they make it a 8-point game.
Nice. So Blake Griffin, he's missed 2 games, 32.4 minutes per game, just under 13 points per game, almost 6 rebounds per game, and 4.3 assists per game. I don't like him being on this team, and it sounds like if he's here long term, it could almost hurt the development of these young guys. I don't want to say attitude because I think Blake Griffin is a decent pro when it comes to the way he conducts himself. But at the same time, you don't want these guys to learn bad habits from a guy that's towards the end of his career or somebody that just doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the body to be able to do it. Does he bring any value, or is he basically, if you can get someone to take him for basically anything, you do it? I mean, I went into this season hoping that he had a good start and we get something for him at the March something deadline. But that's not going to happen, is it?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of an Andre Drummond type of trade where they get maybe a couple second rounders back for him. Maybe it's just a salary dump type of thing where we get some veterans that nobody actually wants with expiring contracts. I have a feeling it's going to be something like that. I could not get him out of here fast enough.
Yeah.
When he is not on the floor or when he does not play, if you watch that Pistons team, they play so much better without him on the floor. The ball moves. It does not stick. They play defense. They don't get blow-bys. Like there is a clear difference between the two, and people can think all they want that this is Blake Griffin. This is not the Blake Griffin that we're familiar with.
Yeah, honestly, that's what's weird to me is the fact that he's never been that. He's always been a guy that's just busted his butt no matter what.
Yeah, but he's
always
always
can do it anymore.
He just doesn't have the body.
He's always slowed the game down though. He's always been a really slow offensive player.
Yeah.
If he wasn't lobbing early on in his career, he would get the ball. He would do 10 different fakes. He would hold on to it for a while, make one pass, and then make that guy make a play. And that just is not in the mold of how this team is being run right now. And it's holding back guys like Sekou Doumbouya.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about him. You think he's being held back because of Blake, or is there something that he's doing that he's not getting that time? So, sorry, before you answer, he was a healthy scratch in one game, and he's only averaging 11.8 minutes per game and 4.2 points per game. So
I follow a lot of Pistons fans on YouTube and look at the stats and everything, and everybody is perplexed by this. Nobody
I'm
knows
very
why.
perplexed.
Nobody knows. Like, there's people being like, "Did Sekou like sleep with the coach's
coach's
wife? Like,
wife
what's
or
going
something?
on? Like,
Yeah.
why is he not playing?"
Let's explain. Maybe. Maybe.
When he's on the
Dig into
floor,
it.
Right.
Duck,
when
duck,
he's
go.
on the floor, he actually performs, and he matches up. Like, if he's playing up against Giannis Antetokounmpo, he was the one to guard him. Him and Jeremy Grant were like trading on and off, and he was doing the best job. Like, he is a freak of an athlete. He's 20 years old. Why are we not giving this guy minutes? And all I'm looking at is Blake Griffin on the court. Looking at, he is playing the power forward, the same position as Demboya, and it's driving me crazy. He's sucking up all those minutes,
He is.
and I'm just like, his development. This is not how you develop a guy like this. You can tell that his personality is somebody that needs to get encouraged and needs to have the ball in his hands and feel more and more comfortable over time. And this is the opposite of what is happening. It's making me worried because I think he's a stud of a prospect. I think you see him
Still
on the
young.
court.
Still young.
When he plays with aggression, I think he could end up being one of the best players on this team.
And Blake's just getting in his way.
He's getting in his
how
way.
you think?
Yeah.
Because I know Dwayne Casey. He's been hard on him.
He has, yeah. And I
And-
think he's trying to get the best out of him.
Okay, but then he's not rewarding him to get the best out of him because he can't.
Right.
And that's really the key. I think that's enough about the players. And I looked at that as a development issue for Sekou, but
I don't think it
I
is.
also haven't followed it nearly as close. So that's why I'm glad that you kind of corrected me on that. Not that I even said it until well after the fact. But anyways,
Everybody loves to correct you.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to do that.
but no, I think it's good to hear that he's not. He's just getting the short end of the stick because there's money in the way. There's a guy, and honestly, he's still young enough that he doesn't need this year as well, right?
No, yeah, he's 20 years old.
Yeah,
He's
so
20 years old, and the difference from last year to this year is huge. He's bulked up. He's strong. Next year, he's going to come in. He's probably going to be shredded. Like, that's just the type of body that he has. So, again, the upside is out of this world for that guy.
Yeah. So I was going to move on from individual players and talk more about the team, but I did want to bring up Killian Hayes. So the first, what was it, 7th overall? Was it the
Seventh overall, yep.
pick. Killian Hayes, he's out for the year. I think it was it a broken hip or like some kind of tendon in his hip?
Yeah, he actually tore the labrum in his hip,
Okay.
which is the same thing
that
that
you
I
did in
tore
your
my
shoulder.
shoulder.
Yeah.
It's not good news.
Yeah.
It's really bad, yeah.
So let's talk about how he was looking beforehand, and then we can talk a little bit about how bad it can be. From what you told me, like aside, you weren't too thrilled of what he was doing.
No, he was terrible. He was probably the leader of biggest busts in this draft. When you see people doing the way too early busts of the 2020 NBA draft, he was at the top of the list because he was 7th overall, but he looked so bad on the court. Not defensively, he actually looked really good defensively. He actually looked like you understood why they picked him so early because his passing ability is really, really good. Like he can see the floor in ways that other people can't, and that was apparent. But he was nervous to dribble the ball up the court.
Yeah,
he was stripped probably 12 times
that's
this
not
year.
what you want from a
Just
point guard.
yeah, just bringing the ball up the court. He was nervous to do anything. When he crossed half court, he was looking for the first person to pass the ball to.
Yeah,
And to me, again, that's one of those things where Blake Griffin was almost his safety net. He would pass the ball to Blake, go in the corner, and then he wasn't asked to do anything else. And I hate that for rookies. That's basically the way I played basketball.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, and like from personal experience, honestly, terrible way to play basketball. I
Terrible
don't
way to
recommend it.
develop.
I don't recommend it. It's terrible. So I was feeling really bad for the guy. He's 19 years old and thrown right into a starting role. It was too much too soon.
Yeah,
And there's actually a really cool YouTube documentary about him that I've been following over the course of the summer and fall and everything. And the biggest thing that I took away from that is you see a lot of these big prospects, they were playing against other top prospects all throughout just to keep their mental game strong
Yeah, for
and their tools sharp, I guess. And the difference with him is that he was playing up against like his cousin and his neighbors, and like he was not a pro yet, but he had all year by himself to keep himself good. And then you're playing in the NBA against the best competition
yeah.
and starting point guard, Like he was.
That's tough.
This was the worst situation for a guy like him to come in. It was over his head. He was not ready for the spotlight. He was not ready for this kind of an opportunity, and it showed. And not to say that he would be a bad player, but with his state of mind and with this injury, I don't know. It's gonna be tough to come back from.
Yeah, and I think this year, like whether it was the right time to be a starter or not, I like that they threw him to the Wolves, and because that's the way he can learn. That's the way he can find himself. Like, I mean, I don't think the NBA is a confidence league necessarily where your confidence can get shot and then you're basically nothing, like baseball. Like you talk about that with baseball a lot, is you don't want to bring somebody up too early because if they get in their own head and start pressing, like you can kill one of the best top prospects just mentally. Basketball, it doesn't feel like that type of sport, at least from my opinion. And I would have liked to see the way he responded and to the adversity that he was facing and getting sat down or just less minutes, all that stuff, and just developing his game too, though, and learning what works and what doesn't in the NBA. And this feels just like a wash. I feel like it's going to be a rookie season all over again, and we're going to see the same struggling guy that we saw to start this year. And it's just gonna delay the process. Not that he was gonna come in and change the organization, but he was going to be a piece. And now we don't know if he's a piece. Now we think he might not be. And this type of injury, from what it sounds like, could be more of a 2-year type thing till you're 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also a 19-year-old body compared to, I mean, what are we, 25-year-olds? So
23, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, no, but you know what it is though is. The biggest knock on Killian Hayes was his athleticism, his explosiveness, his quickness, his lateral movement. Those were the biggest knocks on him. So you ask, like, well, as a point guard, what do you have then? Well, he had size and length, and he had a vision for the game, a passing ability that you cannot teach. We saw the passing ability. He's really, really good. He has a little floater in the lane that could be really good. He actually has a good three-point shot. But I disagree. If you watch this guy play, his confidence was so low. He was playing a game with such fear. You cannot succeed in that way. You're not learning. You're not building. You're not growing with that kind of a mindset. All you're doing is getting worse. You're solidifying like how scared you are on the court, and you're going to play a certain way. And now you add this kind of an injury where if he was scared about bringing the ball up the court because he didn't feel like he could blow by people, like, is he ever going to feel that way again? You know, is he ever going to feel like he's an athlete enough at an NBA level?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tough.
You know, those are the unknown questions, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I do have two more questions here before we take a quick break. I basically they were just two questions for both of you guys. I remember you guys are saying that this team will be more fun to watch than they were last year. Here we are, 9 games in or 10, something like that. I don't remember. They're 3-8, right? No, sorry, they're 3-10. So 13 games in. Are they as fun as we hoped, or is it just basically
like to watch?
Yeah.
I feel like that.
Have you watched?
Yeah, a little bit, not as much. The big thing is that Killian Hayes is not. Yeah, he looks scared.
Yeah,
he looks like a little puppy crossing.
That's the best way. A little puppy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then but then you lost him, so now he's not playing. Which I'm not saying is the end of the world. What I mean. But yeah, Blake pulls a lot of fun out of it. I would say so far, no. I don't think they are as fun as I was hoping. Maybe to Ryan's point, they're a lot more fun when Blake's not on the floor.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then, what do we want to see happen before the 25th deadline? Is there anything of value on this team to bring in another lottery pick? Not necessarily lottery ticket that you can draft somebody and continue this rebuild, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I think Derrick Rose is still your biggest weapon right now if you're going to be trading anybody. Blake Griffin can be that, bring in second-round talent and maybe multiple second-round picks or something. I don't know how much. I don't know. I'm not really sure. You know, if we can, I don't really want to get rid of a lot of our young talent. Is
Jeremy Grant a potential trade piece?
I hope not.
You like what he's
No, he's not. I don't think so.
No, he would be a huge trade piece. He really would. The league would love his contract now. First, everybody was killing the Pistons for
it. Yeah.
Getting this contract, and now it looks like one of the best contracts. He's looking like he's going to be an all-star this year. And they're already talking about Jeremy Grant, being a potential starter or one of the first guys off the bench for an all-star team. And that's saying a lot when a guy like Damian Lillard took 6-7 years to become an all-star. So I think high praise coming from that way. I hope the Pistons build around this, and then they get some explosive athletes around him to turn this team around quicker than we expected. Derrick Rose, I think he's our biggest trade
He's our
asset.
biggest trade piece. Nice. Hopefully he can stay healthy so we can get something for him at the deadline.
Glass knees. Go.
I think we have everything ready to go here. But it is time to fill our banana boat with
Talk
our
about pie.
favorite pie. So National Pie Day is on January 23rd. I think that's Saturday, maybe Sunday. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Could
Anyways,
be.
it is
Could
sometime this week. And I mean, we're just going to celebrate National Pie Day by filling our banana boat with our 4 favorite pies.
Sure.
All right, I
Does
guess
that,
so.
does that make sense?
Yeah, I
you
mean,
guys okay
if
with that?
If you're gonna make me do this, I'll do it. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, should we preface that Ryan doesn't eat sugar?
I mean, I have, so
well,
I've experienced
yeah,
a lot of pie.
he knows a lot of pie.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You're right, though. I'm not. I don't.
for
need
the
this.
record, the Webster's define
this is for me.
Merriam-Webster defines pie as a dessert consisting of a filling as of fruit or custard in a pastry shell or topped with pastry or both.
I think the only
That is
reason
the definition.
we're doing National Pie Day is so he could read that definition to paint me into a corner.
Yeah.
Because you were gonna push the limits. I guarantee
No
it.
shepherd's pie.
You were gonna say shepherd's pie. You were gonna say like
I would have joined
road pie or something. I don't know. Is
What'd
that
you
a-
say?
Road pie?
What
Road-
does that mean?
Road pie?
Isn't that like when horses poop on the ground? Don't they call it a road
You
pie?
kind of like a cow pie?
Cow pie.
Cow pie. Yep,
Cow
you're
pie.
right. Yeah, you're right.
Roads don't poop.
They don't. Well, you never know.
Well, I've been on a number
Have
of roads
you ever
before.
looked below them?
You-
Underneath,
No, I
underneath
suppose I
the
have
road.
not.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
All right, exactly. They
Yeah.
might be.
We're in Michigan. We see that all the time. Yeah.
That's a great point. The potholes. They did not fix the damn roads. That's for sure.
no, that's true.
Other than that, she's done a
Terrible job.
exactly.
Anyways.
Anyways,
You're about-
favorite pie. Who wants to go first?
you're both about to be censored.
That would be a huge. Like, I would
3%
love
of
it
our
if-
audience is going to be outraged right now.
yeah.
Maybe 3.
Maybe.
I don't know. Is this like what's going on Facebook right now? Is it this that bad of a camera?
You know what? I don't know, and I'm
What
not that worried
I'm
about
not
it.
worried about it either.
What did Carrie say? I can't read it from here.
She's
She
talking
said-
about pie.
Shepherd
Favorite butter pie. Butter?
peanut butter pie.
Peanut butter. Oh. I got it.
Oh.
Yep, you're right. For
Shepherd's.
I
And
got.
then she wrote shepherd's pie.
What about chocolate pie? Is that a
Yeah,
pie?
that's a thing. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's just. Should we start filling our banana boats?
Shepherd's pie is delicious for the.
Shepherd's pie is probably my favorite pie, but it
Okay.
doesn't count in this segment, Kyle. So,
I got one.
Are you ready to start
I
us
got
off?
one you're not gonna like.
are you ready to start? Oh,
yeah, I do. Yeah.
all right. Kyle's starting us off.
For number 4, I'm going like old school.
Not ranking them, just you're
My-
just filling
oh.
the banana boat.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, I'm not allowed to rank.
Nope, you're not allowed to rank.
Okay.
It's a LeBron James thing. He doesn't like to rank.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 4, apple.
apple pie.
Just coming strong with apple. I love a good
know
apple
what?
pie.
do you
What a
like
great
all right,
pie.
So do you like it hot or cold?
I don't want to be asked that question by you anymore.
All right. Do you like?
That's what she said.
Oh, there you go. Do you like it with ice cream?
I
Vanilla
would.
ice
Yeah.
cream?
I guess I'd prefer it warm with ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. You too?
Yeah.
Don't make eye contact with me while asking that question.
He's like smiling.
right. Yeah, really weird.
Side, weird grin.
You want it hot? I'm like, no, Sam.
You like it?
do you like that?
So with vanilla ice cream,
Yes, that'd be good. Or like some whipped cream, maybe. Some.
I
you
do
know.
like the whipped cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe both.
Yeah. I like the cold with the hot kind of coming together.
Okay. Next one.
That's a really good. That's a really really good underrated pie. Apple pie. Just
It is
simple.
like the old-fashioned American. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, or my next one. Probably gonna have to change because it is something that is not a traditional pie, but I have eaten it for dessert. While other people ate dessert,
Oh, come on.
I'm reading it right now. This
spaghetti
you
pie.
had to do it.
Spaghetti pie. My mom makes the best spaghetti pie, and I don't really eat desserts. So,
Does that come with like tomato sauce in it?
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a fruit. So we're all
oh,
good.
it's a fruit. He's right.
Technically, we're all good here.
Ryan is so clutch. I love the way his brain
Not
works.
a fan of it.
It's a fruit.
Not a fan, but you have to accept it.
Yeah. Ryan, we got you on a technicality.
Yeah, you did.
Boom. Okay.
You did. All right.
Next one is blueberry.
Blueberry pie.
I like blueberry. Yeah, a little bit of tartness. Hopefully, my mom also makes a really good one of those. And I know we're not supposed to rank, but for me, this reigns supreme. Key lime pie.
Key lime. I knew that was coming.
I-
I feel like
I-
we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Like
I
favorite
felt like
desserts,
you
right?
suspected that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
key
Yeah.
lime for days over here.
All right. So is that on your list, Ryan? Is key lime?
No, I mean over here meaning Kyle.
Oh yeah. All right.
This side of this table.
Do you want to go next?
Yeah. There's
Good,
no
'cause you
pressure
don't
with
have a
me
choice.
next. Yeah, I'm going to start it off with my odd choice here too. So at my work, we call it the Joe Pie.
The Joe pie.
Joe Pie, just Joe Pie. I said the Joe Pie because it's like the Facebook, like what you say. You
Yeah,
know?
we're always on. The,
Yeah. So the Joe Pie, I guess. So Joe
like
Joe
it.
Pie is just ice cream. It's somebody who makes ice cream on their own and then throws it into a pie formation with pie crust, and she calls it Joe Pie and throws some whipped cream on top.
that sounds awesome.
It does.
It is amazing, and it got me through a lot of long, bad, terrible days and made them just a little bit better. So coming clutch.
Can she
Absolutely.
make one for us so we can all try it?
Yeah.
Like-
if I asked her, she would love to.
Yeah?
Make a Joe Pie. I'll bring it in. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What kind of ice cream do you like?
Oh man, I like all kinds of ice cream. Like,
I know we're talking about pies, but let's get to ice cream
all right,
real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I like probably one of my favorite ice creams is honestly Blue Moon.
That's not going to go well
It's not
with
gonna
Joe
go on a
Pie.
What is
Come on,
wrong
man.
with you? You
Well, then
can't-
why'd you ask?
What? You can't. It's got
All
a
right,
crust.
She
to
makes
it.
a great mint Joe Pie.
Perfect. I was
Mint
gonna get
chocolate
to mint
chip?
eventually.
Mint chocolate chip type.
Yeah, I like mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
delicious.
mean, I would
yeah.
never choose it for my ice cream, but all right, yeah, just
In a
I want a Joe
pie,
pie.
it'd be delicious.
A Joe Pie, yeah.
Yeah.
I want a Joe,
Joe pie.
I'll just move on here. So the second one, I wasn't even going to go apple pie because I completely forgot about apples in this scenario.
It's kind of underrated, right?
It's underrated, and I'm going to use it. Apple pie, yeah. You asked warm or cold, and I think you could go either one. Apple
Yeah,
pie,
You
is
can.
still
I like
good.
You
both
can.
of them a
Yep.
lot.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to go with the ice cream mix or anything. I just think by itself it
Straight
stands
up.
alone.
Just
Yeah.
straight up. It does. It can.
Next one, I don't even know if I agree with this pick, but I'm just going to do it because it is a banana boat. So I will go banana cream pie.
Yeah, it's a solid one.
And I do really like banana cream pie, so might as well go with that.
Yep.
Last one, pumpkin pie.
Tried and true.
You can always count on it. It is
Hot or
wa-
cold? That's always cold. Is that always cold? Or do people? Some people warm it up.
Some people warm it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think mostly cold.
Put the whipped cream on it.
Yeah, and this is one that
It's so good.
this is one that like it doesn't matter what like I am eating or what I'm not eating. I will go for at least a small piece of pumpkin pie
Yeah,
every time.
nice. All right, so it's my turn.
Your turn.
Have at it.
All right, I'm gonna start with Snickers pie, which is from Arnie's.
If I got Joe Pie to make a Snickers pie, would you like that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I
Wh- wh-
love Snickers.
I would
mint,
love that.
mint chocolate
Yeah.
chip or Snickers? Which one?
Snickers.
Snickers.
100%
All right,
Snickers.
I'm all over it.
Tell her to sign up for bettinghero.com. too.
All right, all over it.
My next one, I never had pecan pie.
Snickers pie, is
in my
that an
life.
ice
What
cream
kind of
pie?
pie?
Pecan.
What kind?
Pecan.
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 Thank you. Ryan gets it.
I've never had pecan pie in my life
You did it
until the
again.
last couple. No, that's how you actually say it.
Oh,
Until
pecan.
the last couple
Pecan.
years, my mother-in-law, and actually my brother-in-law, they love pecan pie, and
We'll
I've
get
never had it. And then I tried it, and it is unbelievable. I don't know what's in it. It's like I think
Pecans.
it's caramel. Obviously, pecans is. Stop doing that to me.
It eventually gets everybody.
Pecans.
Oh, it's stuck with me already. I've embraced it.
It obviously has pecans on the top layer, but they're cooked so nice and they're coated with like sugar and all that good stuff. But then I
Yeah.
think that the coating or like the inside
Yeah.
is like a caramel custard maybe.
Could
I don't
be.
know.
It's probably more pecans than you think
Yeah.
because once it's ground, it works really. It's just like almonds, right? You can make
Yeah.
it into a lot of
Like
different.
a paste,
Yeah.
almost. Like
Yeah.
a pecan
Yeah,
paste.
exactly.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Pecan paste.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pecan.
Very
paste.
versatile.
It's
All
very
right.
versatile.
So I have no
If you
idea
want
where I'm gonna
if you want
go.
the recipes, I can give them to you.
All right. Oh, 100%. Mississippi mud pie. Love me some chocolate. Love me some like pudding. There's like pudding in it. It's the best. So good. So Mississippi mud. And now I'm gonna maybe break the rules here a little bit.
Oh boy, don't get mad at yourself.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Well, I'm allowed to do it as long as you guys are okay with it. Oatmeal cream pie.
Like the
Like
little
what?
pre-packaged?
Debbie's?
No, outside.
That doesn't
No.
count?
No.
But it has pie in the
Absolutely
name.
not.
No-
Absolutely
No pastry
not.
shell.
Yeah.
But it's called all right, you're
Shell.
Right. You're right. Because I
chocolate
guess
pastry.
Play by the rules, man.
Yeah,
no, I didn't even think of it that way. I thought I was getting. It
This
is
is
a
out of
dessert
hand.
though.
this is out of hand.
You quit.
Cancel the whole thing.
Canceled.
No, you need one
Boom.
more pie.
Canceled. All right, then I'm gonna go with good old apple pie, like you guys. I'm gonna do it.
Seems like a cop out.
It seemed more boring when you chose it. I don't know.
I know,
I
right?
don't know why.
Like it almost sounds like he
What in
doesn't
the
like
world?
Yeah,
this
that-
isn't fair.
No, it's a okay pick. I'm all right with it.
it. Yeah, it sounded better when we said it.
Well, you guys, and also I engaged with you guys. So like when you said apple pie, I asked, do you like it hot or cold?
No, we
you guys
disengaged.
Just, you
with
guys
your
just
pick,
let me
yeah.
sit there in silence.
No,
like,
it was
Right, but you were kind of,
disengaging.
you were a little bit like, I guess I'll take apple pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
kept-
actually was thinking like, who's gonna talk next? You know,
Right.
is
that's
that
how I
what's
felt.
going on?
I can't get over. He keeps saying pecan wrong. I don't know what his
Yeah.
deal with that is.
What is the deal with that?
All right. Well,
What's the deal?
Wait, what did Carrie say?
I don't know. I can't read
We
that.
can't read.
Andrea actually commented too. That's
All
my
right,
wife.
hold on. You want me to jump on? Get some-
Yeah. Whoa, dude. We got
Whoa.
some comments here. We got some
the-
pie comments here.
I hope they're all about how people are saying
Somebody-
pecan.
Somebody please read those comments for us.
Oh, hold on.
You gotta turn your sound.
I gotta turn my
turn
sound
your
off.
sound down a little bit.
You should. Oh, I need to read more about that. Yes, pure sugar. Yep. I don't know how to go through these. Chocolate chip cookies tonight. They're talking about their night and like what they're going to be doing. All right, pecans, sugar. Snickers pie is the best. Carrie Smith says Snickers pie is the best. Moose Tracks. Joe pie sounds amazing. It is. Everybody that's ever experienced Joe pie knows that. So I will do my best to let all of you experience it too. I just went through the comments.
Pecan.
That's
Pecan. No, it's Pecan. That's
Yep.
actually how
Pecan.
you spell it. You dumb. This is what I deal with, guys. This is what I deal with.
is it pecan or pecan?
Pecan. It's called pecan pie.
Never heard of it.
Let's get to the next segment here.
You want to?
What is this here?
Well, I want to get to what I'm most excited about is signing up for a whole bunch of free money.
Right? All right. So can you just tell everybody a little bit about? So we got our picks coming up next, right?
Yeah, so bettinghero.com, right? Is that the
Bettinghero.com. What
Betting-
I'm going to do is I want you to explain what we're seeing here. Can you do that for me? Look at this.
I will
Look
do
what we
my
got going
best. Okay, so you can see on the screen right now, we have logged into bettinghero.com, and what you need to do is just sign up as a, pick a username, password, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very simple. The promo code that you need to put in, which is, I think it displays as a referral code, is MIBETS.
Boom.
Stands for Michigan Bets, right?
Yep.
MIBETS.
Which
That's all. It's very, very simple.
is legal starting noon on Friday. Breaking news.
What that will do is that will break down every single opportunity you have for promo codes, for free money, whatever deal is going on in the state of Michigan that's available to state of Michigan bettors. That is listed line by line in this app. So it just displays it really nice and easy for you. It chooses the best promo code. You can just go click play now
Boom.
on whatever betting site you desire to go to. If it's DraftKings, you can sign up for DraftKings and you can get the best deposit bonus up to $1,000 offer that they have
Yeah.
available at the time.
So what you do is you obviously sign up, use our promo code, and then sign up here, put in your money, and start betting. That is the way to do it, and it is awesome. So right here you have 4 different options just to start. So I don't know what WH is. Does anybody know what that means? It doesn't matter. You get $500 risk-free bet. If you sign up, put some money in your account, that helps us out. That helps out the podcast. It supports us big time, which we really appreciate. You can do it at MGM here, which is that one, which for the people that are watching, you can see you got DraftKings right here, which is never mind. I'm not going to get into that. But then you also got FanDuel right there. So you have all of these you have several different options. You can sign up for multiples, all of that stuff. But make sure you go in here, put in MIBETS as they call it a referral code. It's actually a promo code. Make sure you use that. That is what really will mean a lot to us. It supports us, and we obviously would appreciate it. So we are going to make our bets now. What were you going to say?
Free
now?
money. Free money.
Free money. You got
Free
all
money.
these opportunities.
That's the whole
You got
point
a
of it.
$500 risk-free bet. You got a $200 welcome bonus for MGM. You can deposit bonus up to $1,000. They'll match, I think, 20% or something like that of what you put in. Or you can do a risk-free $1,000 bet with FanDuel. You can do them all, and we would love it if you did.
And obviously, people know about FanDuel. People know about DraftKings. Those
Yeah.
are the obvious ones that are all over social media, all over the radio, TV ads, and everything. What this does for you, though, is it breaks down so you're not going to miss the little guys, the casinos,
Exactly.
the local Michigan opportunities that are out there for free money. You can go bet with all of these guys independently and make money.
Definitely. Love it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our bettinghero.com picks of the week. What we're going to start with. So I'll start with, do we usually do music with this or no?
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Can you give me a little music?
I feel like, yeah, we do.
College football in.
Do the NFL Prime one.
Kyle, you struggled
Boom.
this week.
How about this?
Let's go.
Sam, you crushed it.
I want to play them at the same time.
No, I made it so you can't.
Oh, you did too.
But you can play drops over music. So if you want, if there's ever something in there that you can. That's what she said. Yeah, exactly. Anyways,
like it. Okay.
We'll go with the results. Micah, he went 6-0.
Like
He had a perfect week
Unheard of.
last week, but he's still bringing up the rear. 49 and 58 overall. Kyle 2-4, 56 and
Classic
51
Micah.
overall. Ryan
Classic. Coming on
4 and
strong.
3 for a 57 and 50
You
overall.
know what? I should have changed
I
my
went-
bet for the Vikings and Bills game. I should have changed that one.
Vikings did not play the Bills, so
You're right.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Oh,
Pur-
that's
it's a
right. I
purple
remember
team.
that. Yeah, but
Purple
you were.
team. I
you
felt-
were- No, I know exactly
Yeah.
why you took the Ravens because we were arguing about quarterbacks.
That's
the
the
night
only
before.
reason.
I knew it.
You're right.
I
That's
knew
the
that's
only
the
reason.
guy
I
who
thought
was-
he was going to step up.
I went 5-2 with a 5 and something, 59 and 48 overall record.
It's a 5 and 48.
5 and 2.
You have it right on,
5 and
on
2.
the page.
What did I do? Oh yeah, 5 and 48. Anyways, I am leading the pack. Ryan, you are in second with 57. Kyle, you're one game back, and then Mike is bringing up the rear. I'm just gonna go
Make
through
a
his
comeback,
pick.
though.
Yeah, he really could. All right, so Tampa Bay at Green Bay, -4. Micah obviously taking Green Bay. I will go next. I'm going to take TB12. I probably shouldn't, but 4 points is a lot. I'm just going to take it. So, Ryan, what about you?
I'm taking the Packers.
Kyle,
Packers.
I knew you guys were both going to. You guys are just waiting.
I'm gonna keep betting against Tom
Against-
Brady until I win.
All right, so we're going to
Good
stick.
luck.
We're
I
gonna
know,
stick
right?
on that Tampa Bay and
Genius.
Green Bay game, but we're going to pick the over/under. It is over/under is set at 51.5. Micah is taking the over. I am going to take the over. Ryan, what about you?
Oh, man, this is tough. This is getting me
This
right now.
one's really tough.
I'm not really sure. I'm going to go under.
Under?
Playoff football is dirtier and less impressive than people remember.
Kyle.
It's gonna be cold, too. I want the under.
Under the points.
It's crazy.
We're just going opposite Sam.
So
All right.
crazy.
We will jump down
I
to
need
the
points.
Bills at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 3-point favorite. Micah's taking the Chiefs. I
I have not decided.
am taking the Bills.
Oh.
The Bills +3. I think the Chiefs win. I think Mahomes is going
Oh.
to play, but it's going to be a little bit closer. I think the Bills can expose the Chiefs' defense a little bit, and it'll be a high-scoring game. Or I'm not getting into the high scoring. You got to, yeah, there you go, boy. Ryan, what about
All
you?
over it. All over it.
You got this.
Yeah, this is a really interesting pick. Chiefs -3.
That's tough.
Chiefs -3. It's almost like how would you bet against the Chiefs -3? But the Bills, there's
Bills-
just something about them right now.
Yeah.
They just feel like that underdog Cinderella story. The whole year they felt like that. I'm
That's
stalling.
true.
I'm stalling because I haven't decided. Your money with that. Give me the Chiefs, just to be different from Sam. Give me the
Oh,
Chiefs.
man, this is going to be a This is going to be a big
Chiefs for me
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh.
You're going 0-6. I'm going
getting
6
so
0.
nervous now. Like I don't like going before you guys. Anyways, all right, we're gonna stick on that game again. Obviously, we're gonna take the over under 54.5 points. Mike is taking the under.
Under. Why?
I'm taking the over.
Why is he taking the under
On
That-
the
it's-
Chiefs Bills?
54.5 is a lot of points, but I like the over.
compared to
I know,
51.5
it's
week
only
before?
a field goal.
Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, I'm going over.
Over.
Alrighty. We will jump down to our home team, the Pistons. They play the Hawks, Rockets, and the 76ers twice before our next episode. I set the over-under at 1.5 wins. Because this is what I do. It's pretty simple. Micah took the under. I'm going to take the under. I don't see them beating any of these teams. Well, they might beat the Rockets. I don't know how they've been doing since they got rid of their guy, but
So the key with the
I'm taking
70s,
the under.
key with the 76ers, they've had all their key guys out because of COVID-related issues. So all of their rookies have been playing right now. I think they're all going to be back by the time they're playing these games. I'm going under as well, but it's closer than you would think from the naked eye.
That's the biggest thing. If they're back, which I think they will be too. So yeah, under.
Under? All right. Our last pick from our bettinghero.com picks of the week. The Red Wings, they play the Blackhawks twice. I set the over-under at 5.5 goals in the two games. Micah took the under. I'm taking the over. 5.5 goals. Ryan?
5.5 goals between both teams?
No,
or just
sorry,
for
just
the
the Red
Wings?
Wings scoring 2 goals. Or, sorry, 5.5 goals.
5.5 goals in 2 games. Under.
Kyle?
Over.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Wait, you went over, didn't you?
I went over, yeah.
Oh. I should have changed.
Blackhawks
that.
are bad, right?
They are, but so are the Red Wings. But they did just win. They beat Columbus, who's
And
a
they
good team.
scored-
You don't
they
have to
scored
restart
three.
the
They
music.
scored
That was
three in
like-
Three
overtime.
goals, yeah.
Yeah, but if they do that
Money.
twice,
That's what I'm saying. That's why I took the over.
Impossible.
Yeah, I
They
like it.
cannot do it twice.
they're going to score 5 goals in one game.
That music stopped at like the perfect
That
time.
was perfect. They're going to score 5 goals in one of the 2 games. And it just depends on getting 2 in the other.
And then they'll,
or
they'll
1
get
in
a
the other.
shut out in the
Shut
other
out
one.
in
It
the
was
other one.
sweet, you and I was still
My
lose.
math was terrible. Anyways, that was my math. Ryan, can you do our little read here? for our
Yes,
beer
it
grades?
is time to grade our Michigan beers for episode 90. Before we do that, I want to remind you to stop into Siciliano's Market. They are our partner at State of My Sports. They're simply the best beer store in West Michigan. They are located on Lake Michigan Drive between the GVSU campuses. They're in the perfect location. They're close to you in West Michigan. Go see what they have to offer. Whether you know what you want or you need some help from their staff, they're always willing to help you. That's the biggest takeaway that we get from them. They not only have the massive and up-to-date inventory of the best craft beers across our great nation, they also have individually priced beers so you can mix and match to build your own six-pack. That's a big key. They also not only have a great selection of craft beer, but they also have specialty wine, spirits, ciders, coffee, tea, tobacco, and cigars. They have everything you need. Siciliano's Market also has the largest selection of homebrew and winemaking supplies in West Michigan. We love them as a partner. Siciliano's Market, go check them out. Tell them State of My Sports sent you, and that is who we go visit to choose our Michigan beer for each and every episode. Please check them out. Let them know that we sent you.
Well done. Just well done. That's all I got to say. I think you did a great
Thank
job.
you.
Kyle, you want to start us off?
Do you guys all have some of this?
What do we
Yeah,
have right
I got
now?
a little
Dragon's
bit of
Milk?
That is the Dragon's Milk.
Yeah.
White. You want to start with that one?
No, I don't. I want to drink it first.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have any-
Kyle, start us off.
yeah. We're all kind of doing stuff. I'll just go ahead. Kiwizilla. Really like the
That's
name.
a great name.
Collaboration
You
between.
have said nothing about it. I don't even know if you like it or not, honestly.
I've kind of been. Yeah, I don't know if I do either.
This is the first time I looked at the can. That is a very colorful,
The can.
childlike can.
I was just gonna say the can.
I like
Is
cans.
bringing it up because it's like great artwork. Look at it, got Godzilla on there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
like I would have a chance with that
It's got
kind of
an ice
artwork.
cream cone.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, ice
Yeah.
cream cone. Lot going on. I don't know what. Yeah,
So who's that from?
broadleaf and black Calder. That's the collab.
Okay.
Sour ale brewed with kiwi and vanilla.
What's the collab? Can you say that again?
Collab?
collab?
Yeah, no. Who? Between who?
Broadleaf and black Calder.
Where are they out of? Do you know?
Both
in Grand Rapids here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The
So
black Calder's pretty
Broadleaf
new.
is actually a brewery of Avant.
Oh yeah.
Is it
okay.
really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I remember.
So they have a
now.
location, I think, on 29th Street, and then they also do a little bit out of Brewery of Vermont as
29th Street is key. Like, why spend the money on 28th Street when you can go to
Right.
29th Street?
Oh, dude, 29th
And they're
Street was
so
my
close.
go-to back in the day. Like, that's where I got my skate sharpened all the time from
Yeah.
competitive ed.
29th Street's one of the best things that's ever happened to 28th Street.
Right.
You should just drive it to the trailers. No, there used to be. I'm sure it's worse now, but like there was never traffic on it.
No,
Right,
like,
right.
never, yeah.
Everyone's like, take 28th Street.
You could
I'm like,
rollerblade on 29th Street.
See ya.
Oh, it's good. It's not as sour as I would like,
Okay,
and that's kind of just me.
Yeah.
6.7.
6-7.
Do you want me to do this one on the fly?
No. Let's
Okay.
we'll do our individual ones, and then we'll do that after. Get ready to introduce that one though, because that's on you.
I'll go next,
All right.
so you don't have to call on me. So, Conflict of Interest is a beer from Griffin Claw Brewing Company. Again, this is Birmingham, Michigan, and 6.0, I think. This is a hard grade for me because there's nothing wrong with this beer. There's nothing that I would I don't know, point at as being why it's not very impressive, but I just don't feel like it's doing anything special. It's not like standing out to me.
Okay.
That's actually well said. I would say the same thing about this sour.
Yeah.
And
Ditto.
What did
Ditto
you
what-
give? What did you give to that? for
Give
that
it a
sour?
6.7.
I'll go 6.8 for this. Not the most impressive thing. There's nothing wrong with it. Would I drink it? Yeah. I mean, you could drink
For
this
sure.
on a
Yeah.
on a regular basis and really have no complaints. But you would also not find anything good about it either. So hate to do it,
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna transition just to me here so I can do the.
You should really get somebody to do that for you.
I know I really should. I am drinking
What's
the
he-
Mob Father, which is from,
Transitioning. He's not even
it's
talking. He's
from-
transitioning.
Right.
I always have to call out that my transitions. I have to
Right.
say it out loud for it to work.
Yeah.
I'm drinking the Mob Father. It's a double IPA, 8.3% alcohol by volume. It's from Trail Point Brewing Company, which is in
Allendale.
Allendale, right over by you.
Yeah, real close.
The cool
It's
thing
good
about
stuff.
this is
That was
basically
good. Yeah.
again, that for the people that missed the intro, the beer story behind this is the Mob Father pays homage to our home brewing roots with the Muskegon Ottawa Brewers, the Mob they call themselves, and Siciliano's Market, which I mean we all know we love Siciliano's Market. In their being advocates of the craft beer and home brewing for decades. The Juicy IPA. New England IPA is brewed with Citra, Idaho 7, which we're starting to see a lot more of the Idaho 7. I'm wondering if that's
Yeah.
like
I
a...
feel like it's the new Washington.
Yeah,
Idaho is just like gonna really
Right.
step it up lately.
Like,
Exactly.
Washington's like Dunzo.
Yeah.
like,
And it also
Yeah.
has
they're not cool anymore.
no.
the Hydra huge orange and peach flavors with a balanced hop presence. This is
A lot going on there.
a very, very good beer.
That is a good beer.
I will say-
really like this beer.
Great beer.
Yeah, the peach is excellent.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go very high with this. I'm gonna go with
Ooh.
an 8.8.
Wow. Very
I
nice.
was a big fan of this.
I think
beer.
well deserved.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad that I have your guys' support. Kyle, what
Not
are
mine.
we all
Finally.
drinking?
You don't have my support. We are all drinking Dragon's Milk White. So I think most people at least, I mean, especially if you're from this area or Michigan, you've heard of Dragon's Milk. This is obviously a little bit different. Barrel aged white stout. And I don't know how you make a white stout, but
They did it.
they did it. They found a way. This is from New Holland Brewing, which is kind of all over. Doesn't say a whole lot else.
Is it like a white? Yeah, how do they do that?
I don't know either because I
Well,
think
it's
of a
not really
stout.
white, though. It's just
It's pretty light
just-
though. I mean,
yeah,
look
it's
at it.
light,
It's
yeah.
light.
Right. I'm not a stout guy, but this is very smooth, and you get a nice chunk of the bourbon in there.
You really do. Yeah.
Wait, 7.1.
Really. I'm actually really surprised you went so low. I think, especially being a stout, like it's so easy to drink,
It is very easy to drink,
and the
yeah.
flavor that you get with the white. I don't know how they make it white, but it is
It's
white.
almost
yeah.
it
It
is
fits like
creamy.
a lot of people like that don't like the stouts.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
it doesn't have
This I
or
could drink.
Don't like doesn't
Yeah.
like the stouts.
They don't.
Or did I
Well,
say it
that's
right?
the right way.
Did I actually say it right?
I think you did because
Yeah,
I
it was
just
just-
I just
like, yeah, it was-
clarified it.
He was right the first time and then corrected himself.
Unbelievable. That does not
He
happen.
made
often.
himself wrong.
Okay,
My wife-
So you're a rocket scientist.
My wife would say I'm not right often, so I. Yeah.
Yeah, I
She
agree
might
with
be
her.
right.
She sounds brilliant. She sounds like an amazing person.
Yeah, she is.
right.
All right, Ryan.
All right, sorry. I'm gonna go high because I think this is not even in my wheelhouse, and it's really, really, really good. And I'm gonna go 8.3.
8.3. Wow.
This is a really good beer.
I do like it. It's easier to drink than most stouts.
I'll give it that for sure. Just for clarity, yeah, a normal stout to me would probably be like a 4
Yeah.
or 5.
I'll remember that next time I'm picking out beer for you. I'm gonna get a stout.
No, you got to mix it up though, right? You
No,
got to
for
see what's
sure.
out there.
Yeah,
You do. Yeah.
I think I'm kind of right in the middle of both of you. I think it's really good for the stout but it just doesn't fit my palate necessarily. I'm gonna go with a 7.8.
Right down the middle.
The thing I like about
Ooh-ah.
it too is that you can taste everything in the description.
You certainly can.
As
yes.
Yeah.
the way it describes it on the can, their purpose, what they were trying to get out of this beer, they nailed it. They
Yeah.
did exactly what they were trying to
You
do.
know, they took Dragon's Milk, which is obviously one of their best sellers. It's kind of put them on a map in a lot of ways, and they made it. They adjusted it to fit people that might not necessarily like how dark Dragon's Milk is.
Agreed.
And it worked. Like I feel like that's something that All Day was trying to do with. They had the Two Hearted with the light-hearted, double-hearted, or all that stuff. It's like it didn't work that well. This worked, and they've actually won some awards. I wish I had the list in front of me what awards they won. But anyways, like I think they did a really good job with it. I would drink that over the regular Dragon's Milk personally, unless I was just trying to get hammered.
Yeah, I mean, there's a purpose for.
What was
for
the percentage
anything.
on that?
I think it's a 6.0, isn't it?
Was it 6?
Kyle's looking into it. I think it's a 6.0 though. It's cut down compared. Like about half, right? I think normal
6%.
Dragon's Milk. Yeah, I think normal Dragon's Milk's like 12.
You know, my one thing would be
Yeah,
put bigger letters on the can so I can actually read them.
yeah.
He's like an old man. He's like
Right, yeah.
far,
I'm trying to get
close, far, like
close,
trying to
yeah.
focus. Yeah.
Astigmatism.
Like our cameras the whole time, like trying to focus, like what the camera is not doing its job. But anyways, I thank you guys for being here tonight. I know the weather's getting bad, so I hope Kyle necessarily you drive safe. Ryan,
Yeah, I got to walk all the way home.
I didn't ice or salt my driveway. So
I
just be careful.
haven't in
Right.
years.
Just
yeah.
be very, very careful when you walk. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for recording. Sorry, Micah, that we weren't able to make that go.
That was a bummer.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for the comments. Please share us. Please check out bettinghero.com. That would mean so much to us. That's honestly the only way you can support us is obviously we're going to get a cut for it. So please go to bettinghero.com. Use the promo code MIBETS, and that will really help us out a lot. So
Do it.
please keep doing that.
Do
and, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Helps
If
you
not
and us.
sooner.
Not sooner.
Kyle's birthday next week. He's gonna
That's
be here
right.
celebrating with us.
Why'd you
You're gonna
guys
do
get
the
so
out music or what?
I keep waiting for you. I'm like looking at you like, let's
You're
go.
supposed to start a while ago, so it kind of fades in.
Well, your voice got so high, we weren't sure if you
Why
were
don't
going
you
to
just-
stop.
Why don't you just look at me and be like, hey, start the thing.
I pointed at you when you were watching. There we go. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you
Peace,
next
guys.
week. If not sooner.
People like to tell me I'm gonna burn out soon, no, maybe worse. Running on coffee and 90 proof. Oh, I ain't worried about the chorus, or even the second verse. As long as I'm breathing, I got nothing to lose. I'm living 6 feet down, doing 27 over, and I don't quite give a damn. I was born with lead foot and rust up hands.
Thank you again to all our great sponsors, the House Brewing Company and Cafe, Siciliano's Market, Mac Web Design. Also, thank you to Paradise Outlaw for allowing us to use their music for our introduction, Detroit Hustle, and for our out 6 feet down.
Life in the fast lane, I guess you could say. Watch yourself, I'm going out like a bullet from a gun. I'm burning up hot and bright.
You're doing a lot right now,
Yeah, you are, man. I thought
You're doing
this
a
whole
good
setup
job.
is great.
and you're getting familiar